Oh man, so a lot of you guys really enjoyed my mega update looking at MATIC, DOT, and Chainlink all in one video. So I thought I'd bring you that again, see what I'm seeing in the charts, because a lot of you guys, I'm feeling and getting a little bit frustrated with some of these coins, and I'm here to reassure you why. First, these guys are long-term hodls, so we shouldn't be worried about that. If you don't know that by now, check out my altcoin portfolio video, because these are three awesome projects, as good as you pretty much get in terms of longevity and being here in the next few years. We get loads of spin up projects which ramp up really quickly, but these have been, they've been tested through time, right? They've been around bull and bear markets, and we know these are great projects. So let's look at MATIC first. We know MATIC as a layer 2 solution is probably not getting as much attention as it should be recently, but you guys know how this industry works. If you've been here for long enough, you'll know it moves in peaks and troughs based on different themes that the market seems to like right now, right? Facebook comes out and talks about metaverse. Suddenly all the metaverse games runs out. Somebody comes out and talks about a play-to-earn game, and suddenly all the play-to-earn games start moving. People want to talk about Solana. Oh, look, Solana's running. All the layer 1s will start running. So we're smarter than this, guys. We need to find and have a balanced portfolio of all these different themes. So when they start running, because we don't know when they're going to get running, right? The catalyst could be anything. Something can happen tomorrow which leads Ethereum gas prices to get delayed, go even higher, or Ethereum 2.0, for example, could be delayed again, and then suddenly layer 2 solutions are going to be in hot demand again, because people are going to realize, hang on a second, ETH 2.0 is not coming anytime soon, therefore we need layer 2, and Polygon MATIC would continue to run, right? So we need to have our positions in these narratives. But let's look at the charts. Before we get into the MATIC chart, as always, guys, go and collect your free money. You've got free money coming from Swissborg, offering you up to 100 euros when you deposit 100 euros or equivalent, 50 euros or equivalent. They'll give you up to 100 euros. You've got Coinbase offering you $10 in free Bitcoin when you buy or sell $100 or more in crypto, which I'm assuming you can do anyway. And you get $10 in free Bitcoin waiting for you when you deposit 100 euros or equivalent on BlockFi. So go collect your free money. You've also got the join button, guys, if you want to become a member of this channel and support this effort of me bringing you TA updates and fundamental updates from wherever I am in the world. Like I'm showing you guys, I'm doing this regardless of if I'm in my studio or I'm traveling. I'm giving you guys the updates because that's my commitment to this community. So if you want to hit the join button, you'll get access to our community only thread, which is just for members, and there'll be special perks for you guys, including asking me one-on-one questions about your favorite projects or your portfolio or which coins you currently have invested. So go consider that, guys. Now let's look at MATIC. So with MATIC, what we can see is we're forming this massive cup and handle pattern. And so for those of you who've been following my video, you'll be very, very familiar with this. This started all the way back on the 16th of June, and we had a good cup pattern forming to the 6th of September, and the handle formed up to 26th of September. We got the beautiful breakout, and my technical price target from the cup and handle pattern sits all the way up at about $2.80, right, guys? And so far, so good. We headed all the way up to $2.20, had a good movement to the upside here, and you'll see from my diagram here, my little arrow here, that this is perfectly normal. I want to see a curling over and a retesting of the neckline, okay? Coming back around from a couple handle pattern, touching that neckline and bouncing off gives you far more credibility and confidence in the pattern that you're trading or investing in, okay? So this is perfectly normal. If we lose the neckline, that's a different conversation, right? Then we're flipping bearish and we're heading to the downside. But if we can bounce off here, and you can see here, we've had 3 or 4 hourly candles where it shows the bulls and the bears are fighting. It shows that we're looking to make up our mind of which way we're going. And my suggestion would be, given this cup and handle pattern, given this upward trend line, which we're seeing here as well, I suggest we're going to continue to move to the upside, meet our first target at least at $2.50, and then our second target at $2.80. If I bring out the EMA ribbon very quickly, you can see that this isn't an issue, right? We are penetrating the EMA somewhat, but we're not bearish just yet. This is perfectly fine, and if we can get a bounce off this, we can expect a good move to the upside on MATIC. Now, how is DOT looking? Well, we need to have a look at POLKADOT, because we know POLKADOT started their first parachains just a couple of days ago. So on the 11th, they set up their first parachain auction, which is fantastic. We know Moonbeam and Moon River are doing amazingly, right? Moonbeam so you got Moonbeam and Moon River, both like DeFi projects on the Kusama and the Polkadot ecosystem, are doing amazingly. They've had over hundreds of thousands of transactions on their site. I think they surpassed 1 million transactions, on the Kusama network, which is absolutely fantastic. And just goes to show that some of these projects like Akala, Thala, Moonbeam, Moon River are going to be super hot in this Polkadot ecosystem. And we're watching this out keenly in our Discord channel. So if you're not in our Discord channel, check that out, because we're talking a lot about some of these projects. And we need to find out which ones do we want to position ourselves in. Now, you don't want to rush into these. These are going to be longer term projects, but holding, the dot. The dot is what I'd want to be holding right now, right? Because that's good. That's betting on the casino. Which projects are going to do well in the dot ecosystem? That's a bit more higher risk and will have a smaller portion of my portfolio. But dot's going to win regardless of which parachains are on the system, because it's so powerful and so well built. So that auction is going to end about the 18th of November, and just gives people more confidence that this platform is working. So the fundamentals are looking good. What are the charts telling us? Well, the charts on dot are showing the same thing, right? We've been following this cup and handle pattern, and we had our initial break to the upside, which was here, and we had our continuation pattern, and we continued, and then we had our dump down because of Bitcoin. Now, our price target still sits at $61 on dot. We've got our longer term price target at 74, which we know is from our Fibonacci extensions in the golden ratio up here at 74.14. But we've just had this bending over. So what I'd want to see now is very important that we get a good bounce off this EMA ribbon. Okay, what I don't want to see, what would be not good, is if we, obviously, one, we lose the EMA ribbon, that would be horrible. But two, is even if we have this kind of a pattern here. If we have this kind of a pattern here, you could argue you're creating a head and shoulders pattern. So we need to be very careful on that. Okay, so I want to see a good bounce here now, strong on the EMA ribbon. I want to see that create a new high. So this high we had here at 40, 54, 55. We need to finish a bit higher so we keep our upward trend. Very, very important. We don't want to create a lower low. Okay, let me remove the EMA ribbon so you guys can see that. And it's gone. Very important that we keep this upward trend. Very important. So I don't want to see this dip below here, because then we lose that upward trend. So we need to keep this higher low. This needs to turn around very soon in the next day or so for Polkadot. And I assume the first auction ending will really help that happen. Now, so that's where I'm at in terms of dot. The chart's still looking good. I still maintain my price targets, as you guys have just seen from the cup and handle pattern. I'm not too worried about things. The curling over happened partially because of the Bitcoin crash, right? So it doesn't really invalidate our technical pattern. We're still on an upward trend, still heading towards our price target. And that brings us on to Chainlink. So Chainlink, again, they all form the same pattern, cup and handle pattern. We've covered that many times here on the channel, but we created this cup and handle very early, right? Even before the handle was formed, I suggested that we were going to see this cup and handle play out, and indeed we're getting there now. It's really, this is the crux now for Chainlink, and we're going to find out now if we're going to head to the upside or if we're not. So the next few days for us are critical, because you can see here, we've come to the top now where the neckline is. So the neckline sits here on this yellow line, which is at $35.06, 35.06. But look at these daily candles, guys. They're just getting rejected. You had this massive wick on this candle a couple of days ago, straight up. It broke all the way through in 38, but we couldn't close. Next day candle, we wicked up again, couldn't close. Next day candle, wicked up again in the red, couldn't close. Can you see this trend, guys? This is a little bit worrying for us on Chainlink, because all of these wicks are happening above. Let me just make sure that you guys can see this clearly. So this candle wicked above, this candle wicked above. So all three of these candles wicked above the neckline, but it couldn't close. And then these ones couldn't even wick. So the last 2 days couldn't even wick past. Sorry, guys, excuse me. So the last two candles couldn't even wick there on Chainlink. Let me bring back the chart for Chainlink. Where are we? There we go. And that's a little bit worrying for us, right? Because what we don't want to see is us curling back down. We need to break that neckline now. It's fine if we retest afterwards, but we've not quite got that clean breakout on Chainlink. So we're going to have to see what happens. Again, because it's an altcoin, all three of these will depend on what Bitcoin is playing at. If Bitcoin goes on a run towards 70, you trust that Chainlink, MATIC, and DOT will continue to head to their cup and handle price targets. But overall, that's what I'm seeing in the charts. Let's bring out quickly the EMA ribbon so you guys can see if I'm concerned. And you will see here on the daily chart, I'm not concerned whatsoever. Yes, we want to break this cup and handle pattern and start heading towards our price target. But when you bring it into context and see how extended this run has been from our EMA ribbon, you will see this has been a beautiful run here on Chainlink, and people are starting to cotton on that in this bull run, you want to be holding some of these great projects such as Chainlink. So looking pretty good. We've got plenty of room here to retrace to the downside, even if we headed well into the EMA ribbon at $30, which we don't want to see. But if we did head into 30, 31, 32, that's not an issue at all. So we need to stop, being so short-term minded. We need to sometimes zoom out on the daily, pull out your EMA ribbon and just look at how far you've come as a project. I know that's frustrating when you've got a trade on or you're doing something on a short-term time frame, but in that case, make sure you're trading your pattern, you've got your take profit level, you've got your stop loss, and you know what you're playing at. So there you go, guys. There's your mega update on Polkadot. You've got Chainlink and you've got Polygon MATIC. If you enjoyed this and you'd like to see this type of video, you have to smash up the like buttons and subscribe, guys, so I know this is the type of content you like. If you appreciate this, please do support the channel, and I will see you in the next one.